Mr. Colin Shepherd, the proprietor and your host, has a unique vision of what good service should be. He has stamped this vision on Sheppy's Auto Rental Limited, which he has taken from a small beginning into Tobago's premium auto rental company. He is now bringing this unique vision to the Shepherd's Inn, which he says, quote, "The Shepherd's Inn is going to change the face of hoteling in Tobago." His vision is simple. Our guests are each and every one the most important people in the world. We will treat them and give them the ultimate in service, making every effort imaginable so that they want for nothing during their stay in Tobago. So let me now introduce you to the Shepherd's Inn and tell you the story of a boy from Dallaford who as a man made his dreams a reality. Colin Shepherd grew up in the district of Dallaford, a small fishing community set in the hills above Kings Bay on the Atlantic north coast of Tobago. Dallaford, known as Dallas to the locals, has a rich history and many landmarks, some of which will become familiar to you during today and even in your stay with us in the future. Colin Shepherd is very proud of the village where he became a man. He fellowshipped at the Streams of Power Pentecostal Church, where he first learned, and I quote, "One must learn what it means to follow before they can lead." As a boy, aged 14, he made his regular trip to Trinidad by ferry, selling mangoes, breadfruit, crabs, chickens at the Port of Spain market. Further to that, he raised pigs, making a living from selling their meat. The name Irwin, which in Old English means Boer's friend, is his homage to the pigs which provided to both his needs and that of his family, hence our name, the Irwin Shepherd's Inn. Because of this impactful childhood life, every room or cabana is named after places in or close to Dallaford, making it a perfect experience for visitors and locals to experience the village of Dallaford in Crown Point. So let's take a tour of the Shepherd's Inn. As you arrive, you will find yourself in Dallas, as we call our reception area. You will be invited to quench your weary traveler's thirst and hunger with a refreshing cocktail and a slice of our tasty Shepherd's Inn pie in the aptly named Kings Bay Lounge and Betsy's Hope restaurant. The Shepherd's Inn has two distinct areas where our rooms are situated either overlooking a garden lawn area to the left of Dallas or close to the pool to the right of Dallas. We call these areas the pasture and the pond. Let's now take a journey in the rooms. Our first room is the village of Louisdor, the first village you came to as you start your ascent into Dallaford. Believed to have named after the gold coins of King Louis of France, Tobago's national agriculture nursery can be found here. Our second room, Rose Hill, is a beautiful hamlet set on a hill above Dallaford village. As most British settlers were of Scottish descent, it is probably named after Rose Hill in Pitlochry, Perthshire, Scotland, a rumoured haunt of Rob Roy MacGregor, Scotland's own Robin Hood. As you reach the crest of the hill above the village, you look down onto an expanse of water that compasses Queens Bay, Dallaford Bay, and Kings Bay. This is Bay Ridge, our third room. Our fourth room, Windsor, is the name of the main village street through Dallaford. So as is common in Britain, the main road changes to a street name as you get through the towns and villages, hence the Windward Road becomes Windsor Street, probably named after the country seat of the British royal family since the days of William the Conqueror in 1070. Crapaud Village is our fifth room. The word crapaud, which means frog or toad in French, was used by the British as a derogatory term during the Napoleonic Wars to describe Frenchmen, that is, frogs. It is likely that the early French settlers named this area Crapaud as the wetlands and streams contained many frogs. However, it could also be that many French settlers were still here after the British took control of Tobago. Room number 6, Della Bay. This is the locals' name for the Delaford Bay around which the area and the villages of Delaford sits. The bay is rich in sea life, is fed by the Atlantic Ocean. Salcappa, room number 7, was a favorite hangout for young couples of Delaford. The name was given by the late Mr. Rosenwall, the last foreigner Drew to own the estate. According to Uncle Alwyn, one of the natives, rumor has it that Salcappa is where the last plantation slaves were beaten. Room number 8 can be called Turnin. This is local dialect for the turning, as this is where the road starts its winding descent through the hills as you reach the outer limits of Delaford. Blackgate is room number 9. As you start your ascent on the road heading towards Speyside, on the immediate left is the cocoa shed, and to your right is a beautiful peach house. This is where the late Mr. Kylo Celestin lived, the overseer of the estate and a local stalwart. Just behind the peach house is the Black Gate. His son Julian Celestin refers to it as the gateway out of Delaford. Room number 10 is none other than Shaw Park, a favorite spot for camping, hiking, and picnics. The late Uncle Hawthorne, Richard Melvin, and cousin Codrington, just to name but a few, did their farming here. The land was believed to be extremely fertile. It's now time for us to take a look at the pasture rooms and Little Bo Peep Suite. Mainancis. From the shoreline of Kings Bay, about 200 meters, Mainancis lies, a peninsula or headland projecting 30 meters into the ocean. This is room number 11. Room number 12, Magiston, is a small village just off the main road. This area is a favorite of both hikers and nature watchers. It is a must-visit for anyone who wants to be in harmony with nature. Old Jane, as the locals call her, still has her estate there. Here's a note on some of our suites and cabanas. The Little Bo Peep Suite is located at the top of the pasture on the corner between Della Bay and Salcappa. Where would a shepherd be without a shepherdess? And as in the nursery rhyme, our sheep always find their way home. The cabanas on the pond. There are 4 cabanas around the pool area. Each contains 2 individual guest rooms. They are named after some of the most popular sightseeing spots and areas near Delaford. Cabana number 1, Little Tobago, a nature reserve, also known as Bird of Paradise Island, having been gifted to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago by the estate of Sir Williams Ingram, who purchased the island in the 19th century. He bought 24 pairs of these birds from New Guinea and populated the island with them. He also cultivated plants and trees. The island is still very much a nature reserve, but unfortunately, there are no more of the bird of paradise. It is rumored that they were all decimated by Hurricane Flora in 1963. Cabana number 2, Goat Island. Rumored to have at one time been owned by Ian Fleming, author of the James Bond series, this tiny island with its small white sand beach and 2-story dwelling house is the iconic Millionaire's Hideaway. When you pass close to it on your way to Little Tobago, you cannot help but daydream what it would be like to possess your own little piece of paradise. Cabana number 3, a walk in the clouds. Tobago is home to the oldest natural forest reserve in the Western Hemisphere. The rainforest itself sits on what we call the main ridge, which contains some of Tobago's highest peaks. When you arrive here, you will feel a noticeable drop in temperature as well as moisture in the air. Your walk in the clouds will take you into a world of nature and beauty that you are unlikely to have experienced before, giving you a glimpse of flora and fauna, also wildlife that is found nowhere else but in this corner of Tobago. Cabana number 4, Cape Gracias a Dios, meaning Grace of God. This rocky point is situated at the easternmost tip of Kings Bay, and local folklore says it is so named by the survivors of a shipwrecked Spanish galleon sunk by the pirates of Little Tobago, who washed up on shore here, saved, as legend has it to say, by the grace of God. Ladies, gentlemen, dignitaries, and specially invited guests, welcome to the Irwin Shepherd Inn.